It is summertime, and one thing we've noticed is that more and more we keep reaching for a light meal or because we just don't want to cook. So Eric decided maybe we should try to make our own carnivore bars, and so that's what we're doing right now today. So let's look at some of the supplies that we have. We bought some very lean ground beef, a carnivore style rolling pin that is really tiny and not used for anything but carnivore stuff. We've got some parchment paper, some pizza screens. We do not have a dehydrator. We will be dehydrating in our oven. So these seemed like the best substitute to us. And then I also have a wooden spoon because I hear that when you're dehydrating in your oven, you need to prop the door open with a little wooden spoon. We've watched the Two Crazy Ketos, Anita the Ketogenic Woman, and Nia's Way to get some tips and pointers on how to do this. Now we are using ground beef, as I mentioned before, and you can do it with thinly sliced beef as well. So I saw the Two Crazy Ketos use about half a pack. I don't know. I've got my parchment paper already laid out, and I'm going to put this on top. Another piece of parchment paper, and then roll to get it as thin as we possibly can. I can already see I'm not skilled at rolling, especially with this little miniature rolling pin. Is that what it's called? A rolling pin? All right, so I've gotten it fairly thin. I hope it's thin enough. And we're gonna see what fits on the pizza pan. Let's take out the extra. All right. All right. I think that's what we've got. I think we've got one pan. I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one. Okay, so we have two pans. This one's pretty full. I didn't quite get the coverage, but close enough. And you can see I probably have about, out of this 2.25 pound thing, I probably have about a half pound or so left. So this is what we're going with. We've got two pans. They're going into the oven. So let me just point out, I have no idea about this either, but I put a layer of foil on the lower tray because I'm a little concerned about grease just falling into the oven. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. So let's just slide this one there. Put this baby on the top. And we do not have a dehydrate feature. I thought we did on this brand new oven, but no. Oh, 175? I thought it went lower than that. Oh, here we go, 170. All right. And there I've put a spoon in. And we are good to go. It's 11:15. We'll see how long this takes. All right, the Two Crazy Ketos said it takes 6 to 8 hours in the oven. We'll see. But they suggested halfway through the cooking to pull it out and sort of blot off any grease and flip the meat pie over. So I'm gonna go do that right now. Oop, there's the wooden spoon. Whoa, let me fling it. It looks like it's cooking though, yeah. I do see a little bit of grease on it, but it's not much. Yeah, you can barely see the grease that's coming off it. Okay, let's see if we can, it doesn't matter if it breaks, I guess. Oh, there we go, there we go. Oh, there's the grease. It's on the other side. It's going back in. I think I'm gonna check it in an hour. I mean, it's leathery, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but the way it's the edges, I think we'll keep a bit of an eye on it. All right, it's been 5.5, 6 hours, something like that. And every time I open the oven, the spoon falls out, but I think it's done. So here it is. Right off the bat, I know that there is some shrinkage that happened. Shrinkage, but it's very thin. Let's see if it's breaky. Having never done that before, I think this is what we're looking for. The next step in making our pemmican is to put this in a food processor or a grinder or a blender of some sort. Let's see. It tastes like nothing, but it's not been salted yet. I heard you do the salting afterwards. I don't know, does that look good?
Well, except for the giant piece in there.
Oh. That one is a problem. I think that's the only large chunk in there. That is 177 grams of beefy goodness. I don't know what we started at, but there you have it. We just ran the carnivore bar ratios through AI, and so we're gonna follow those instructions, and it says we need 276 grams of fat to add to our 177 grams of beef powder. And this needs to be melted, so we're gonna whip it in our microwave. Now this is not looking like a tremendously large batch of carnivore bars at this point. But that's okay, if this works, we've got another 3.5 pounds in there or so. So I don't know if it's supposed to have this much liquid to it. Like the fat might fall to the bottom of the tray and have a little fat layer, I don't know. The other thing is we do not have any idea how much salt to add to this, give or take. As I mentioned earlier, this is a carnivore household. We don't have any honey. So what we do have is some wholesome yum, which is basically a monk fruit and allulose blend with some honey flavoring in it. So obviously this is not 100% carnivore, but we're gonna give it a go. Oh, that's only gonna be about 2 tablespoons, it looks like. The texture of this one seems better because it does have that goo in it, honey goo. This one still seems very, very fatty. Eric pointed out that we probably don't need any parchment paper since they are so greasy already, but everything is easier with parchment paper, so I'm using it. And I learned from Indigo Neely that parchment paper is parched. And so if you wet it, it lies in your pans much nicer and makes the world a better place. So this one I've got labeled sweet. So we know that that one's going to be our sweet batch, and then the just salty is over there. These pans might be a little large. We've got our 2 batches, and it's gonna go into the fridge or freezer, and we'll probably try it tomorrow. I do need a stool again. Here we are, it is the next day of our pemmican experiment number 1. And I'm saying number 1 because I don't think we've got it right now.
It's not looking appetizing. I'm not going to describe what I think it looks like, but it does not look like a carnivore bar.
Not at all.
Or like carnivore barf. Well, so this one's the sweet one, and we better eat the...
yeah, let's do the non-sweetened one first.
It is very soft.
We might need a spoon. I did put this in the freezer overnight just to sort of have it set, but took it out of the freezer because of course it's not supposed to live in the freezer. It is really...
It's gooey.
Gooey and greasy.
No. No, that's not it. I need my water.
If you take like, if you cook burgers on a skillet or something and then you scrape the grease and the remains off the bottom of the skillet, this is it.
That would be strong for a dog.
Okay.
We know the texture's wrong. It's not ground fine enough.
And there's way too much fat. I mean, this is basically a ball of fat with beef chips.
So let's try the
okay.
the pseudo-sweetened one with the allulose monk fruit honey. But texture-wise, I already know this one's a failure because you couldn't actually chew it. You just had to kind of take it like a pill.
Again, this is like clay. It's malleable.
Well, it's super sweet by comparison.
It is really sweet. Okay, so this is a little more like if you get a coconut bonbon covered in chocolate. It's kind of like the gooey coconut filling.
That is palatable.
Yes, yes.
But texture-wise, it's a nightmare.
Experiment number 1 was a failure.
But we learned.
So we're gonna try another batch. We've got the meat in the fridge.
We just need to figure out how to dry it.
Well, so this is pemmican version 2.0 for us anyways, where we actually got the Kasori dehydrator that ketogenic woman Anita uses, so that we are hopefully set up for success. I have rolled out our 5 trays of meat, and I think it's ready to go in. So we've put it in for 8 hours at 165, again following Anita's advice. So here we have our completed pemmican. It's been in the fridge for a little while. What are you laughing about?
We started with so much meat and so many trays in the the dryer, dehydrator. And now we have maybe 4 or 5 bars max.
That is one of the reasons carnivore bars are expensive, because
A lot goes into a compact unit.
Yeah. So with this batch, we got the pemmican, the beef powder, into a powder, no chunks really. So we did that with a phase 1 food processing, which did not get it fine enough, and then we put it in a coffee/spice grinder that got it the rest of the way. We did not listen to chat about how our proportions should be. We just added the tallow until it was kind of like that play sand. It was kind of like a play sand consistency. Same thing with the honey. We just added a little fake honey, that wholesome yum that is not to the same proportion, at way less than we used in the last batch. So this batch looks much better.
It looks like a pemmican bar. Used to cut the cookie bars with this.
Yeah, the famous almond flour keto cookie bars. We normally use the South Chicago Wagyu tallow, but we're almost out. So I had to head up the road to the meat store where they do have tallow, but it was grass-fed, very different looking than the Wagyu, and yeah. But look, this looks legit.
Yeah, and it holds together as a bar. It is cold out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Smells vaguely of dog food.
Beefy.
It's actually better than I expected.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do the grass-fed tallow.
Yeah, we definitely want to try it with the regular tallow.
Because I think that would be a milder thing. There is 0 sweetness from that faux honey. I don't know if it's offsetting some of the gaminess of the grass-fed tallow or not.
So yeah, we used about, I'm guessing about a 1/4 cup of tallow in this, again, to get that play sand consistency. We used about 2 teaspoons of that fake honey and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
I would cut the salt in half for this amount.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's an allulose honey. But it's important for it to not become a sweet treat.
Yes.
And that's the thing about the honey carnivore bar, is that it's got just the vaguest hint of sweetness to offset the tallow beef, but it's not so much sweetness that it makes me want to go crazy for eating sweet things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is definitely, I agree, shift up the tallow a little bit, but this is good. I think we got it.
The texture's on point.
Now, does that mean we will not be buying carnivore bars? Well, we just got a big shipment of carnivore bars. I don't see this as being a complete replacement, because it does have a different flavor profile too.
It's also a process, and I could easily eat one sort of carnivore bar equivalent as a lunch replacement. That wouldn't last 2 or 3 days for both of us if we were both doing that for some reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it, for us, a direct replacement, but it definitely will be part of the mix.
Say you took the Redmond's smoke salt.
Oh.
Or you took the Redmond's taco seasoning.
Oh. Yeah.
You could make some interesting varieties.
That is interesting. Interesting. So maybe you've been interested in trying the carnivore. You've heard some influencers talk about it. You look at the price and your jaw just drops. You're like, I can get a steak for this, the price of this. Now, we've come to love the carnivore bar. It has been a great sort of little light meal replacement, especially during the summer for us. We've really enjoyed it. It was something that you developed a taste for. You didn't like it right off the bat, but now you really do. So we were like, we love them, and while we understand the price, we love supporting them, we were looking for a way to maybe make our own pemmican as well, to maybe supplement our carnivore bar habit. Yep.
And we did it. But you don't have to go to all this work. You can go to carnivorebar.com and use code JJ and Eric for 10% off your order.
That's Eric with a C.
Yes. And there's a link below for that.
Yeah.
Or you can do this. Now, we didn't do this as a recipe to show you how to do it. Watch Ketogenic Woman. She goes through the whole thing.
Yes.
In great detail. She even renders the tallow.
Wow. Next level.
Which maybe we'll do that someday.
Maybe.
But I don't feel it coming up.
But here's the thing you need to know. We made the mistakes so that you don't have to.
Yeah. It is extremely important to get this to a powder, not to small chunks. Flakes, that's a no-go. They're not chewable. This has to be into a powder. Otherwise, it's not pemmican, it's pemmicant. We hope that you're inspired to give it a try or try the carnivore bar and stay every day stronger.
Every day more blessed.